My name is Josie Ferguson, and I'm the author of The Silence in Between. First, I just want to start with saying thank you so much for making the book Blackwell's Fiction Book of the Month. I'm absolutely thrilled, and I just really appreciate it. So, The Silence in Between is about a woman, Lisette, who is separated from her baby when the Berlin Wall comes up overnight. It also follows Elly, her teenage daughter, who decides to somehow leave East Berlin and make it over to West Berlin and find her baby brother to bring him home. It was inspired by several true stories of divided families, as well as the story of Tunnel 29, which was an escape tunnel that was built under the wall by a group of students. There's also a dual timeline that looks at what happened to civilian women in Berlin during World War II, a part of history that isn't often talked about and has been, largely overlooked. I did a crazy amount of research for this book, and I really hope that shines through. Berlin is one of my all-time favorite cities, and I visited countless times. I also threw myself then into reading every historical book that I could find. I watched documentaries and films, and of course interviewed people as well. The story also felt quite personal to me because of what was happening during COVID while I was writing the book. At the time, I was living in Singapore, and like many people, I was separated from my family. I was heavily pregnant at the time when the borders closed, and I didn't see my family again until my son was almost 2 years old. When Singapore finally opened its borders, for some very strange reason, they chose Germany as the only place that we were allowed to visit. So it was there in Berlin that I was finally reunited with my parents and my siblings. They finally later met my son for the first time, who was a couple of months shy of his second birthday. It honestly all just sort of felt like fate. So the book touches on some pretty big themes: mother and daughter relationships, inherited trauma, perpetrators and bystanders in war, music and silence. And while it's set in the past, I think a lot of the issues sadly still feel very present today, whether it's families being separated, women being targeted in conflicts, or walls being built around the world. One thing that comes through, though, I hope, is resilience. When walls go up, people will always find a way over or under them. And when families are divided, they fight to be reunited. And of course, when women are victimized, they somehow find the strength to survive. There's also a strong musical thread throughout the book. One of the characters has a kind of synesthesia, which means that she can hear people's music. So music and silence is woven throughout the book, and the title actually comes from something that Mozart once said: music is not in the notes, but in the silence in between. Thank you so much again for your support, and I really, really hope that you enjoy the book.